I've thrown the square plate and it's set for a day and it's ready to trim. Put it upside down on the bat, and I'm gonna. It's been centered it pretty much. In order to center it, you have to pay attention just to the foot. Obviously, the rim is square, so you can't use that as a centering thing. One thing that helps is I take the little pieces of clay and I make a shim out of it. I squeeze it until it's really thin on the edge, and that way I can tuck it underneath this edge here, because that edge is actually sort of floating. It's just hitting on these points here. So I push that under, and that gives it some support. Push that under that rim. I'll go over on this side and do the same thing. And I'll probably add a couple more pieces of clay just to make sure it's not going to wiggle around on me. Normally I don't use this many lugs, but if it goes off center, it's kind of a pain. So. As you get out toward the edge, your tool is going to start bouncing around, so make sure you hold your tool down really low and support it with both your right and your left hand. And also my arm is on my leg, and that gives me stability. Establish a foot. Usually I do kind of what's called a double foot. I leave a little area right here in the very middle that is designed to not be glazed, and that will be touching the kiln shell when it's fired. That'll give it a little more stability, a little more an area that it rests on, so it doesn't have a tendency to warp as much. I'm getting a little soft in the middle. It's kind of thin in the middle, so that's about it. That's all I have to do. Let's do this. Let's put off just a little bit more. Make sure this is nice and flat. I'm going to check this out. Make sure that the center is low enough. Yes, it appears to be. So take the lugs up. Show you the finished plate. Up to this. I'm going to finish this plate off. It's been trimmed, so I'm going to clean up this rim a little bit, like I've spoken about a few times, but I wanted to actually show you how to do it. Here's the little rib that I've taken the notch out of, and I'm going to pull that across the rim like that. Now I've got a little spot that sticks up there, so I'm going to use a Surform, this small Surform that you can buy at a ceramic supply, and kind of clean that off. So make sure that nothing catches on this. Now I'll continue on here. And see how that rounds off that rim. Like that. I do that all the way around, and it's important that you get this at the right point. It's just a little bit soft now. You don't want it too soft, otherwise you kind of dig into it like I started to in one place there. But it doesn't have to be too perfect, because you're going to refine it further by just taking your sponge, squeeze most of the water out. And the nice thing about porcelain is you can do this without creating a lot of, pulling out a lot of sand out of the clay, because the porcelain's so smooth it doesn't have any sand in it. And then that rounds it off even further. The idea is to make it look like it was thrown that way. It's a nice, smooth, softened rim there. And then the final thing that I'm going to do is to take this little tool, and it's just a little trimming tool, I guess, and rest my finger on the rim and then stick the tool out like that and pull it across like that. And that makes that line in there. Here, you can see what I'm doing. But your finger just rides right along the edge there, and it makes kind of a nice even line. pull that off, pull off the excess, clean it up just a little bit. Alright, I wanted to show you a finished plate here. This is one that I brought from home, and you can see the cut edges, and then after I cut it, I made a little line here, and which catches the glaze, this dark brown glaze, the Timaku. And I wax the Timaku, and after that's set up, I put a copper red on the whole plate, and then dipped the edge of the copper red in a glaze called Jensen Blue, a Rutile blue glaze. Here's the back of it. This is porcelain. And also you can do the smaller plate like this, so it makes a set, and even a bowl like that, done in the same pattern. So it's done the same way. The bowl is thrown and then cut with the wire, just like that. And that's it. Give it a try. Thanks for watching. Bye.